How many days in a week should you train Jiu-Jitsu? Let's talk about it. So, you just started Jiu-Jitsu. I've been saying that a lot for the past few videos, but it doesn't matter. You just started Jiu-Jitsu, or maybe you want to take Jiu-Jitsu serious. Maybe that's something you want to do. Whatever the case is, you're like, okay, I'm ready to figure out how many days should I do this, okay? Now, this honestly should be a 1-minute video, but somehow, Smitty, I'm going to stretch this out and go into every crevice of the days. So for the straight answer, so you could click off if you want to, is I would say if you're planning on competing, it should be 4 days. If you want to really take it serious, well, it's 4 to 5 days. So, but the minimum is 4 days. And I would say probably give yourself 3 months or at least 2 months of 4 days per week. There you go, you can bounce. But I'm gonna go into like the science of each day, of what each day could do for you, and hopefully that kind of helps you out. Because what I want to do with these videos is I want to build a conceptual understanding of Jiu-Jitsu. I believe that a lot of people's conceptual understanding of Jiu-Jitsu is actually lacking, because a lot of people don't realize that Jiu-Jitsu is a thinking man's martial art, okay? Like, you actually can win this martial art and beat a lot of people based on not your athleticism, not your cardio. It's just, you just know how to Smitty'Wit. You have the wit. You get what I'm saying? So, let's go into it. If you go to Jiu-Jitsu, let's just say hypothetically, you go to Jiu-Jitsu 1 day a week. Typically, if you're brand new in Jiu-Jitsu, this is okay. This is okay. Your body's adapting to rolling on the floor in skin-tight suits or jackets. So 1 day a week is okay, is fine. Or let's say, for example, maybe you can't get to training. I still think 1 day a week is still good for you to keep maintaining. You're not going to really improve much, but if you are brand new and you're just getting into the sport, 1 day a week is just fine. If you are a very seasoned veteran, but you cannot seem to get back into the game, or maybe you're busy, life is just lifing, I think 1 day a week is okay, but you're not going to get better. If you go 1 day a week, you're not getting better. Sorry, don't think so. You could study it. You could study a lot too. You could be like the most studious gentleman, and you're not going to get better. So, but 1 day it's for beginners or experienced veterans who cannot get back on the mats. That's the effects of that. Then we have 2 days. 2 days is, I still think it's for the beginner. I think 1 day and 2 day typically is for maybe those who, it's the same exact thing I just said, but I'll keep repeating it. Maybe you just can't get to the mats. Really, there's really honestly nothing you're going to get. You're not gonna develop anything. So it's about the same results, believe it or not, as coming for 1 day. But you do get to socialize. That's good. People see you more, because I guess that's the benefits. Socializing is really big, in my opinion, in Jiu-Jitsu. You and us as athletes, I'm probably gonna have to talk about that. Your mental health is very serious and it's very key. So I think 2 days, I guess the only effects you get is you're socializing a lot more. If you don't socialize enough, it's still good for you. Your face is seen in the gym. That's good enough. Trust me. It piles up over time. 3 days. 3 days, I want to say, is definitely like the sweet spot. 3 days is the sweet spot for the casual Jiu-Jitsu. Actually, this goes for even martial arts. Just in general, the casual martial arts practitioner, but definitely Jiu-Jitsu. If you're coming here and you just trying to get your sweat on, you kind of want to get good, you want to learn the art, you want to understand the art, this 3 days, a lot of people typically do 3 days for the rest of their career. You can do Jiu-Jitsu from white belt all the way to black belt. I'm not a black belt, I'm a purple belt, for those if you're curious, but I'm just telling you how it could go. If you go consecutively 3 days, it takes typically 10 years to become a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. You will learn just enough and get better in the gym doing 3 days. I think like to be like a good person, well-respected person in the gym, where you are a threat in the gym, as my old coach Marcelo Perdomo in Long Beach, California, BJJ Top Team once said, you will be an academy lion if you go 3 days. Now, the only way 3 days can match up to 4 days of what I'm about to talk about is if you study Jiu-Jitsu a lot. If you study Jiu-Jitsu a lot with those 3 days, you will kind of be on the level of the next tier, which is the competition tier. So let's say you're like, okay, Smitty, that's cute, but I'm a dog, a roof, you know, like I'm a lion, hear me meow, you know, like I think 4 days is definitely what you want to go for. 4 days, you can do, I think at white belt and blue belt level, if you go 4 days a week, because a lot of these guys don't do that, you will be ahead of the curve if you go 4 days a week, and, you know, trust me, you'll be way ahead of the curve. And then on top of that, if you're studying, so that's why when I was a blue belt and it seemed like I was just vastly better than everybody, I really wasn't. I was just, like I said, jiu-jitsu's knowledge based. Like I'm a nerd, you know? I study the game heavily. Now, once you get to 5 days, that's actually when you want to have, I think, in my personal opinion, now as a purple belt, it's so funny. It sounds like this little big hierarchy, like I'm looking down Mount Olympus, but I'm really not that far off from a lot of you guys. But I do. What the hell was I going with that? Oh, I forgot. But I'm not trying to look down Mount Olympus, but I think like as a purple belt, the 5th day. For the 5th day, I know in jiu-jitsu, when you get like purple belt and higher, a lot of these guys don't want to drill. And something that I started incorporating now, and that I'm about to start doing, especially this upcoming week, is I'm going to be drilling a lot on that 5th day. I think drilling is very, 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 very underrated. Probably have to make another video on that. But it's an underrated tool. And I think if you are on your 5th day, you should be drilling. Now, the thing about drilling is when some people hear drilling, they're thinking like something in the class, like maybe you come to the class and you just drill within the class. Like you're like, oh, this is the move we're doing, and I'm gonna be present for the drilling in class. Good, you should always be like that, but that's not what I'm saying. You should come to class with something specific that you were studying, and you drill the hell out of that position. You learn everything about it. You know the ins and out of that position. Like, I'll use me for example. One thing that I've been studying is this. It's this highlight type of armbar. Where basically, and I'm telling you guys now, it's going to be a while from now, but I'm going to hit it in competition. It's basically like you're standing, you do a knee tap, and you flip around the person, armbar them in midair. It's really cool, but it requires a lot of, I know that sounded really crazy. I don't advocate that if you're brand new. You don't have to do giant flying, spinning arm bars. But like when you get to a point, you will get like that. Or here's the fun part. A lot of people don't tell you this in jiu-jitsu. This is a little bit like a tangent. If you want to do the flying, spinny stuff, you need to drill. See what I'm saying? This is something like, now that I've realized once I got to purple belt, I was like, oh, like drilling actually matters. A lot of people don't really point that out, but on that 5th day, you should be drilling. Can you go jiu-jitsu 7 days a week? Me personally, I can't do it. My body breaks down. I heard Gordon Ryan. If you guys are brand new, don't know who Gordon Ryan is, a couple of years ago, basically he's was considered, and he still is, but he hasn't been competing. He's basically like the GOAT of no-gi. I heard a couple of years ago that he used to be in the gym 7 days a week. I don't know, but then I heard that he would, I think he drilled. I think now that I'm thinking about it right now, like on camera right now, I believe he was drilling maybe 2 or 3 of those days. and he was teaching a lot. So he was studying, drilling. People just don't talk about that. So let's kind of do a recap. And then what I want to also quickly touch on is the intensity and how long you should be training in your sparring. So one day, brand new, can't make it to jiu-jitsu, one day is good enough. 2 days. If you're trying to socialize, that's good. You don't get your socialization in. 2 days is good enough. Your face is being seen. But in terms of results, it's going to be like the 1 day. 3 days, typically a sweet spot. You could be an academy lion. You could be known in the gym. You could properly rank up in jiu-jitsu doing three days a week. If you're trying to be casual, you have no intentions of going to a competition, 3 days is perfect. You'll be fine. 4 days, then, here we go. Now we get into competition mode. 5 days, I believe it's the same thing. Same benefits. But you will get diminishing returns if you don't add something. And I believe you should be studying. I believe you should be anything from, 5 days and up, 5, 6, 7. You need to be studying, because now you're just destroying your body. And speaking of destroying your body, the intensity of these roles, I believe that if you plan on, this is where it gets different. If you plan on competing, every single one of these days, you should be the last person on the mat. You should damn near sometimes be the one cleaning the mat. I'm not even playing. I'm not joking with this. If you plan on competing and you want to, there's some people who train to compete, and there's some people that train to dominate. You get what I'm saying? So if you're just training to compete, 4 days, roll with 2 or 3 people, whatever. You're gonna be a good competition person. But if you want to dominate, that's how I get down. I want to have someone sitting in the corner recording, and I come out in a full Spider-Man suit, and I know I'm about to submit you. If you want to be like that, you need to be the last person on the mat. You need to study. The frequency and intensity of what you're doing in these 1 to 6, 7 days is really important. So I can't think of nothing else of what else, type of way of what you think. Some people think I've heard there was some people who just naturally understood jiu-jitsu and they trained 2 days a week. I have seen with my own eyes, some people train just 3 days a week and they come in and they just run through their entire division. I have seen it, but like I said, they just came to compete. They're one of those natural freak athletes who they just came to compete, but I like to dominate. I want to make this stuff look fun. I want to show that I know what I'm talking about. I want to walk in and, when I get on the mat, I want to be the tallest in the room. I'm a short person. I want to be the tallest in the room. You get what I'm saying? I have a Napoleon complex, and I'm going to back my Napoleon complex up. That's how I feel. You get what I'm saying? So that's how you should feel. So if you want to compete and you go past in 4 days, drill, this actually turned into this is more in depth than I should have went in depth. But that's really all I can say with that. And type away how many days you think you should be doing. And yeah, that's it. That's all I gotta say. Y'all take care.